Hi there and welcome to Ambitious Single Moms, Stories of Strength and Success. I'm Sonja from Your Success Story, Single Mom Level Up Edition, and I'm thrilled to have you here with us today. I'm a mother of 3 wonderful daughters, and when my husband separated from me in 2017, he moved out on a Sunday and the next morning my mother died unexpectedly. During this time, I was although in the middle of chemotherapy. Suddenly, I'm all alone with 3 small children. As a single mom and a businesswoman, I know firsthand how challenging and rewarding this journey can be. When I first became a single mom, I felt overwhelmed and uncertain about the future. But through support and consistency, I've managed to build a life that I'm proud of, both for myself and my 3 children. This podcast is all about celebrating the incredible stories of ambitious single moms who are not only raising their children with love and dedication, but also pursuing their dreams and building successful businesses. Each episode, we will dive into their journeys, exploring the heights and lows, the lessons learned, and the strategies they've used to overcome challenges. My goal is to inspire, motivate, and provide valuable insights for all the amazing single moms out there who are striving to create a better future for themselves and their families. Remember, you are not alone on this journey, and there are endless possibilities when you take charge of your life. Hello and welcome to today's episode of Ambitious Single Moms, Stories of Strength and Success. My name is Sonja Zipser and I'm your host, and I'm beyond excited to have my guest Debbie Bates today here on the podcast. Hello, Debbie.
Hi Sonja.
Great to have you here today. So where are you from?
Yeah, thanks. I'm happy to be here too. I am originally from the UK, from Liverpool in the UK, but I live in Sydney and I've been in Sydney for 20 years.
Wow. Okay, great.
Yeah.
So how many kids do you have?
I've got 2 daughters, 12 and 14. My oldest is autistic.
Mm-hmm.
So that creates a few extra parts of fun in parenting her. But yeah, two teen girls.
Okay, great. Thank you. So yeah, a few days ago, we already spoke a bit about your background and everything. And yeah, you've been divorced for approximately 5 years, you told me.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you said also that it would have been easy to stay in the situation and leave everything like that. So what did you have a vision or an ambition to take action and make a difference in your life?
Yeah, so I was in quite a tricky marriage, I would say. My ex-husband is quite a high functioning addict. So it was very we either got on fantastically when he was clean and when he was good, or it was an absolute nightmare. It was hell on earth. But he makes a lot of money. He's a very good provider, and I was able to be a stay-at-home mom and look after the kids. And I was quite happy doing that for a while, but I was very, very dependent on him.
Mm-hmm.
So my whole life was essentially dependent on how he was feeling on any day and at any given time. Even when I did want to go back to work, and I did go back to work for a period of time, but then our marriage was struggling, it was failing, and it wasn't blamed on any issues between us, it was blamed on me having a job. Mm-hmm. So I was really encouraged to not be going to work. There was even some sabotage in there. And in the end, it was just too much. I had no independence. I was really dependent on somebody who wasn't very nice to me. And I also had 2 girls watching this happen,
Mm-hmm.
and I owed it to them to make sure that they didn't think that this was normal and that this was okay and this is just how it is. So I made the very difficult decision to boot him out. And yeah, it's been a little bit of a wild ride since then as well. But you know, I've come a very long way from where I was.
Yeah, and as you said, you have had, or you have two girls watching you, and you are the role model. You are the first role model for your kids. And when they see, oh, it's okay that my mom is sad and she's dependent on her husband, then they would maybe react the same way. So it's so important that we show up for ourselves and take actions to free ourselves and do what feels good for us.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the other thing as well is that setting that example really sets them up for the rest of their lives. So if I didn't leave and if I didn't take those steps, there's a very good chance that they would end up in the same situation that I was in. And then I'd have to live with that. And I'm not going to live with that. So I basically ended up going in the complete opposite direction of where I was in my marriage, where I was completely dependent on one person, to now being incredibly independent, basically of being the architect of a life that I want. And they've watched me do this. And you know, I'm making sure that they know that they can achieve whatever they want out of their lives as well. So.
And was it easy?
It was better.
But was taking the leaving and taking action and everything and creating your new life, I mean, it was that easy for you?
No. It's not so hard now. It was really difficult. So I mean, as I am a DV survivor, when we first separated, there was a lot of things that went down. Just some of them, you know, like he stole my car. So it was like I couldn't, you know, do basic tasks like, you know, the kids were only 6 and 8 at the time. So I couldn't get my oldest to any of their therapies. It was very difficult for me to get groceries, school runs, almost impossible. The area that I lived in as well, even though it's in Sydney, it's quite a small little suburb, but like on the outskirts, not a lot of public transport. And my kids had never been on a bus in their lives. So, you know, that was a whole like new thing. I wasn't working when we separated, but it just got too much. And I had no income. He wouldn't give me any money. I was left with paying all of the bills, the mortgage, every single responsibility for the kids. He left the country, disappeared. I still don't know where he went for that period of time. And he admitted to me that he was making my life as difficult as possible, so I would have to take him back. He admitted it to me, and he was doing a good job. I'm not gonna lie, he was doing an excellent job at making life really difficult, but I was just like, no, I can't live like this. So I essentially set up my business with like about minus $400 in the bank. And I was just like, I've just got to make this work. And I did. I just pushed and pushed and worked hard, and I was up at 4:30 every morning. I would be working with clients until around 7 o'clock, 7:30. Then I would get the girls up, take them to school, do the school run, come back to work for about 9 o'clock, work through with clients until about 12. Then I would, you know, go and get groceries or, you know, walk the dogs, do whatever I needed to do in the house, and then do that for about 2.5 hours, go back, get the girls. Then I'd have more clients. They come and sit with me on their iPads in my, because I'm a personal trainer in my gym. And then I'd work through until about 7:30, 8 o'clock, and then take them in, put them in bed, go to bed, repeat. And I did that for quite a few years, just building up money, building up some stability. And then, you know, but within maybe 6 months of me doing that, I went from, you know, having to eat out of charity boxes, having no car, no transport, to I took the kids on holiday to Hawaii. So that was sort of the first step for me to be like, I can do this. Like, if I can go from almost being homeless to a luxury holiday, like, I can do this. So then I just kept pushing forwards. You know, and 5 years later, like 7 figures in the bank. I own a couple of properties. I don't work like forward facing with clients anymore. I'm entirely online. I've got another tech startup on the side. Hasn't been launched yet, but I'm expecting some big things from it. I'm putting the same amount of work into that as I have into anything else. Yeah, so I've just had to, you know, keep grinding, keep pushing. Definitely not easy. A lot of mum guilt attached to it as well.
Yeah.
Going from being stay-at-home mum and having so much time with the kids to it just being snippets and little grabs and bits and pieces here and there was pretty hard. But at the position that I'm in now, we get lots of time together. It was worth the grind for where I am now.
So what kept you going on, and what would you recommend to other women who are in the same situation, being left with no money? What were your first steps?
First steps, I honestly couldn't really give you a process of what happened because I was all over the place. I was just grabbing on to anything I could find to try and anchor me down. But I think the most important thing is you just need to back yourselves. Like if there is, I've seen so many people say, you know, but I can't leave. I won't have money. I won't be able to take care of the kids. I'll have nowhere to live. And they are all very real and very scary things, especially when you've got little people so dependent on you for their safety and their security and your happiness. Like this, I can remember there was times I just did not want to get out of bed. I was so depressed. I was finding things so difficult, but I had to. Like I had to do it. And yes, these kids are dependent on you for security and safety, but are you secure and safe where you are now? If you're in a situation where you know, you are in danger, whether it's, you know, physical abuse, emotional abuse, mental abuse, financial abuse, are you really, truly safe in that position? Sometimes you just got to rip off that Band-Aid and believe in yourself. Like you can do it. Like I'm nothing special. I'm just an everyday person. And I just believed in myself so hard. And also, like I said at the beginning, wanted my kids to believe in themselves.
Yeah.
And they've seen it all happen.
Yeah, that's so important. And you also told me you had everything against you because you are originally you are from the UK, so thousands of miles away from home, and now living in a country where you don't have family. You're all on your own with your two small kids. So of course everything depends on yourself, and it's always only even if you have a lot of family, it's all up on ourselves and how we change our mind, how we think and react on different things. So it's always up to us.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is something, even now, because I still work with clients, fitness clients, and it's something that I always really try and put forward. Like I have everything, you name it, you name the challenge, I have absolutely got it. You know, I've got a daughter with some extra needs. You know, she can't like get herself independently to and from school, so I still have to do every school run. I have about 5 to 6 hours of extra therapies every week for her, so that's obviously a big time factor. I've got no extended family to help me, so you know there's no sleepovers with nan and granddad or aunties and uncles. There's nobody who can come over and you know make me a cup of tea and make me dinner. They don't see their dad at all, so it's not like they they're every second weekend and I can get some time. They used to, but they don't see him anymore. So I don't have any time there. I didn't have a stable job with an income and with sick leave and with some annual leave. And maybe somebody who could give me some time off. I had to do the complete opposite. I had to just get on with it and, work when I was sick and work when I wasn't feeling it. And client facing as well is really difficult. And especially as a trainer, I would be hearing people complaining about their lives, but their lives were things like, oh, my my boss was a little bit mean to me in work yesterday, or oh, I had a bit of a fight with my husband. He was just said something mean about my mom while we were down at the beach, and I'm like, my life is falling apart, but please let me motivate you.
Yes.
So that was that was really hard. That was really draining for me for a while. Like some mornings I'd just wake up and I'd be like, no, I just can't do this. I don't have it in me, but you know, I had to. Yeah, there was really nothing in my life that was making any aspect of my separation easier. And
Yeah.
especially, you know, the ongoing systemic abuse I was experiencing too. So, you know, he was, you know, he was harassing me. He was, you know, not paying the right amount of child support. He was doing things like turning up at the school and, you know, being quite verbally abusive in front of other people. There were smear campaigns. There were various women that he was hooking up with who were stalking me, and that actually still happens to this day. That's an ongoing issue, but now I'm just like, whatever, another one.
Yeah, and that's nothing that helps you in your growth, and you have to deal with so many other things, and then this also happens, and you think, oh, that's nothing I would need now. Can't it stop? Huh?
Yeah, but you know what, like in a funny way, it actually spurs me on, because I'm like, I am, like I said, the architect of my own life. I am creating this fantastic life, not just for me,
Yeah,
but also for my girls. At the end of this year, we're actually going to go and live on a resort for 3 months. I mean, who
amazing.
gets to do that? Yeah.
Mhm.
And, you know, regardless of what he throws at me, I can either get sucked into that vortex or I can continue to live this life.
Yeah, 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 and it's always about where are you focusing on,
Yeah.
and yeah, I think you really made it. It's fantastic. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Like I'm feeling pretty good. You know, I've also got time to do things for myself as well now as well. You know, for example, I started competitive bodybuilding
Oh,
earlier this year, which
mhm,
obviously takes up a lot of time. You know, I'm exercising in the gym for, you know, 2.5 hours every day. The meals, getting steps in, practicing posing. It takes a lot of time. And again, you know, that's something that people say when you're in the depths of separation and divorce and you are struggling, the first thing everybody says is exercise, sleep, nutrition. And it's so difficult to do because you're all over the place. You know,
mhm,
you don't know whether you're coming or going, your life's fallen down, you are grieving what you should have had, you're
mhm.
looking after your kids, everything's just all up in the air. It's impossible to really try and do those things. But again, that's something that I really used as a crutch to lean into and to, as I always say, control the controllable. Um, and now I've managed to create those hours a day that I can use to do something that I enjoy doing and do something that is proactive. And something that requires a lot of discipline. And I
Yeah,
think that discipline flows on to the other areas of my life. Like if I can stick to that, I can stick to anything.
yeah,
So
yeah. Discipline is a very important topic, and we always think, ah, discipline is something bad or it's something. Yeah, a lot of people don't like it, but they don't realize that they already have a discipline in bad routines, like
mm.
sitting all the day on the sofa, not all the day, but in the evening.
You're telling on yourself there, Sonia.
No, I don't know when I was the last time on the sofa.
That's too funny. Hey, I get sofa time. I absolutely get sofa time. But
Yeah.
yeah, but again, that's because I've created this life. I want sofa time, so I get sofa time. Like, you know,
Yeah.
my life's like that, talking about that discipline, like my days they're very structured, you know, I get up early, I'll do some work before the kids are up, like now. Um, you know, I'll get some things done. I might meal prep, have my breakfast, have a shower before they get up, and then that's in my calendar, that's marked in.
Yeah.
And then I'll, you know, take the kids to school, and then I'll usually go to the gym, but that's in my calendar.
Mhm.
That's marked in. Sorry, that's my dog. She's tapped out on the floor. Yeah, so that, but I always say that that discipline, it also brings freedom. So for me, having to be so rigid and having to be so structured, it's turned into a huge amount of freedom for me now. I just had to
Yeah.
put in that work to begin with. And that's something that I really want to put across to other single moms, is that no, it's not easy. It is really damn hard, but it's absolutely worth it. And it's at the other side, you've got a better life.
Yeah, and it's not only worth it, it's also possible. You are showing it. And I had a lot of difficulties as well. Not only with my ex-husband, and these were not so difficulties like you had, but I was very ill at the same time. So everything is manageable, and everything is possible. And with the discipline, I experienced this lately as well. Since I have more discipline and have things scheduled in my calendar, it's more easier for me to really do the things. And if we have a plan for the week and we know exactly what happens, and yeah, for example, when you want to do sports and you don't have it in your calendar, you don't do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's I mean, funnily enough, we're talking about this. I actually got diagnosed with ADHD yesterday. So I have to really live by the calendar, because even though I'm saying, you've got to do the hard work, you've got to be organized, you've got to be disciplined, it's something that really doesn't come very natural to me, because I do have ADHD. So I will forget things, I will lose things, I can be all over the place. So it's yet another hurdle and another barrier that I've had against me. But that's why I stick to this schedule so hard. I mean, when saying that, though, it is flexible. What I do in those times, you know, a work block, it's flexible what's happening in that work block. Or, it's flexible what's happening in leisure time. And it does move. Like, I do need to move things around sometimes. But I've had to be so structured to actually be able to take the first initial steps forward. And then that's something that's carried on as I progress down the track.
Yeah, because when we have plans and the structure, we really achieve the things. And I experience quite often that at the end of the day, I think, or I thought, oh, what did I do the whole day? And I had so many things on my mind to do, but I didn't do it because I didn't have that plan. And yeah, and if we want to change something in our life, we have to take action and do things. But if we don't schedule it, we say, okay, I will do it tomorrow, next weekend, yeah, and then nothing comes from it.
I think people would be amazed at what I get done in my day. Not only do I do like both of the school runs, but like quite often, like I'll get up in the morning and I'll be like, okay, I've programmed 4 clients, I've made a sale, I've signed a new client up, I've onboarded them before I've taken anybody to school. And then, I've gone to school, I've come back, I've trained, I've walked the dogs, I've cleaned the house. Then, I might go in the afternoon, or I might go, get myself a coffee, or, I do have a partner, we don't live together, but I might go and, see him for a little while. And then I'll be like, okay, I've also filmed a podcast, and I've also had 3 meetings for my other business, and it's 2 in the afternoon, and everyone's like, how? I'm like, well, I just believe in myself. I back myself. I stick to the schedule. I probably do overpack my schedule, but I get it done. And it's just come from pure practice, pure discipline, and just a really potentially unhealthy belief in myself. Like, I really do believe that, like, from where I came from, which I really don't think I've got across as how hard it was, to where I am now, it couldn't be further apart. And I think that has given me this confidence that, yeah, I can do anything.
Yeah, also the importance of something. If you want, what do you really want to change and achieve in your life? For example, now, what time is it now for you?
It is 6:55 a.m.
a.m. Yeah, and for me it's close to 11 p.m. So for me it's important to stay up and to have that podcast with you. And thank you that it's also important for you that you got up so early before your kids get up, and that you take your time. So it's not only for the podcast, it's also in every area in our life. What importance do we give a topic, an area, and what are we prepared to do for that?
Yeah.
Earlier, or giving extra time. And I spoke to another lady. She said, okay, meditating is important for me. So I get up in the morning 1 hour before my kids get up. So I have an hour for me to meditate. So there are solutions everywhere.
Yeah, and I think as well, another thing is where you actually put your energy. So for me, I could have put a lot of energy into getting flustered and having that level of confusion about where my life was going and being in that victim mentality. I think that is a huge one. If I was putting my energy into poor me, my life is hard, I'm not going to get anywhere, what am I going to do? Rather than putting my energy into, okay, this is bad, but how am I going to make it better? And like I said, I didn't have a plan. I just had to do something, anything. So I was just like, okay, I'll put my energy into this. Instead of being, oh no, living in the past, that's gone. I need to go and create the future. So instead of putting all of my energy and being tired into, okay, this is what he's doing, this is what he's up to, where's he going? Why can he afford this? Why is he going on holiday? I had to be like, well, I've got to put my energy into what I'm doing for me and my new smaller family unit to step forward into that. If you don't put your energy in the right places, you're just going to end up exhausted. And if you keep that victim mentality of like, my life's so bad, he's got everything, he's moved on, you're just going to end up tying yourself into mental knots and feeling pretty crap about yourself. The only thing that you can do is move forward, create this life.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you for these last words. So
yeah, my last words of wisdom.
You were already telling us about that you are a coach, fitness coach, or what is it exactly that you're doing? And I guess you started building it up at the end of your marriage or at the beginning of your divorce at that time?
Yeah, so well, I've been a personal trainer for 20 years. So I was always client facing, so always worked in gyms and I'd managed a gym. And then my old house was quite large, so I had a gym inside it. So I worked with clients from home, which, I mean, I will be honest, that was a privilege that did enable me with building my business to have the kids there. I didn't need to pay for childcare. I'd just be like, come on, in the gym, come with me. And they were still in their home. So that was a bit of an extra bonus that I had, but I did that face-to-face client facing. And then now I'm exclusively online. So I do all my coaching online through videos and apps and using technology. It's, again, it's created so much more time for me. I can really, give the clients more because they're not just paying for a block of my time. And yeah, it's really helped me to scale it upwards.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have last words to our listeners, to the single moms out there?
I think, like I've already said, my last words are just believe in yourselves, just back yourselves, be relentless in your success. You can do it. Sometimes there might be sacrifices, but everything comes with a cost, whether it's a time cost or, a little bit of an energy cost, or might be less time with the kids, or maybe even doing a job that you don't necessarily love now, but is a means to an end. Everything comes with a cost, but just keep taking steps forward, even if you don't know what they are or in which direction it is. Just take one and just keep going, and you'll find in the end, you'll find your way, you'll find your feet.
Yes, absolutely. And they don't have to be big steps. It's small steps every day, small steps. Thank you.
A little shuffle's absolutely fine.
Yeah. Thank you, Debbie. So thank you that you shared your insights and everything with us. And yeah. So thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Ambitious Single Moms, Stories of Strength and Success. It's been an absolute pleasure having Debbie share her incredible journey with us. And I hope you found her story as inspiring as I did. If you enjoyed this episode, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below sharing your thoughts or any questions you have for Debbie or me. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you never miss an episode. All the links and additional resources about Debbie, maybe you want to book her as a personal trainer as well, and all the links about from myself can be found in the show notes below. And your support means the world to us and helps us continuing bringing you amazing content. Until next time, stay strong, stay inspired, and keep thriving. See you in the next episode.
Thank you for joining us on Ambitious Single Moms, Stories of Strength and Success. Let's embark on this journey together and rediscover the magic in our lives. Don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for our next episode.